hola, they say, and I say hola back to them. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Vid in the friggin' house. Not going to swear too much at the beginning. It is 10:01 Eastern Standard Time, and we've got, as we always say, what's up with it? What's up with it? As we always say, we got the alliances. The alliances are coming together for some heavy freaking metal, dear listener. We got the big homie Sean Curran in the house. We got the big homie Tim Tarn in the house. Gang, gang, gang. Bringing the energy for show. We've got songs from alliances, dear listener. You don't know, but on Patreon, if you become a member on Patreon, you get set up with some of the most illest benefits of all time. One of those benefits is the ability to be able to determine what songs we review. You jump in there, you jump on Alliance, it's going to go on, it's all good, it's all gravy. On top of that, we've got to have a new voting system because you guys saw we watched a movie a couple days ago. We're going to be watching a movie again. And we also have shows that are up to be watched. And we have the ability for you to crowdfund to get those shows watched, etc., etc. All those things on Patreon, those are wonderful things that you beautiful people are missing. Now, having said that, we need to get into the entire purpose of the channel, which is you beautiful people being able to listen to some heavy freaking metal and having some deep discussions. We got the big homie Misery Biz. Misery Biz is one of those folks that will be there for you if you're out there trying to get yourself hooked up with an alliance leader. Shout out to the prodigal son, Larry Saint Amand. We even have things where you could do some hooking up with the boy Vinny himself, and you can take Sori's seat while she's taking care of the folks she's taking care of, and you might be in the seat next to a brother, digitally, of course, doing these videos. So there's a lot of things up there on that side of the business. Plus you get to hang out with famous indigenous peoples. Correct, this guy right here is a movie star who works with movie stars. Okay, so TK is present, everybody's present. It's a wonderful, 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 wonderful thing. So having said that, dear listener, let us get into the actual music, okay? Let's get into the songs because these people are part of the alliance, and quite frankly, they deserve to be there. Shout out to Blasphemy Heresy. Good to see you, baby. I don't know who you are, but I know what you are, and what you are is a person I'm glad to see. Thus begins the Vidid Dorian reactions. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Good to see you too, buddy. All right, here we go. Here we go. Now, let's see here. Song numero uno. The winner of Neil's selection for the Anarchy 99 catch-up poll was the track Transitions from Persona to Object by post-hardcore noise rock band Botch. Okay, guys? So, song number one. Shout out to the big homie Mikey Franco. Song number one. I wish I had the big homie Ben here with me. So, Mike. What's up, Saul? Good to see you, baby. Mike, you're going to have to be my timestamp guy today. Okay? So, let's go with 6 minutes and 50 seconds for song number one. All right, guys. Here we go. This is Botch. Transitions from Persona to Object. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's do it. I'm starting to figure you out, boy. Wait. People are saying they can't hear the music. You can't hear the music. Music isn't playing on our end. Ah! Hatred. All right. Let me see. Sorry, there's no music. I loved the music. What happened? Hold on, guys. Autoplay. I can hear the music. How come the fans can't hear the music, though? Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Vin ear guitaring with no sound is hilarious. That's funny. That's very funny. You guys are the worst. Thank you for the person who actually told me that the thing wasn't doing that. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just updated my software here on this thing, so I don't know. All right, let's see here. Video. Show picture-in-picture for new video sharing scenes. All right, let's do that. All right, here we go. Put you here. Do you want to add it as overlay or present it full screen? Hold on, guys. Okay, you guys can hear that, right? I know you guys can hear that. I know you can hear that part, right? So let me know if you can hear that part, and then we'll be good to go. All right. Okay, you can hear it now? All right, good. All right, so I just had to figure out the thingamajig on the thingamajig. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start right from the beginning, and we're going to do the timestamp again. So, Mike, do me a favor. Let's go with timestamp 10 minutes and 30 seconds so that we can have a proper opening, okay? 10 minutes and 30 seconds, Mike, for the timestamp. And let's start this again, shall we? All right, guys, this is song number 1. This is how this song got picked. It was a winner of Neil's selections in the A99 category. Let me see. In the A99 catch-up poll was the track Transitions from Persona to Object by the post-hardcore noise rock band Botch. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Song numero uno from the band Botch. And we're going from Persona to whatever. It was a really cool title. Hold on. Let me say back with the title. Persona to Object. All right. Here we go. Song number 1. It's a little bit bumpy, but we got there. Song number 1, Persona to Object, Fitted Story. Let's go. My ear guitar was on point. Stop hating. like Mario. Yo, that was what band was that? What band was that? That was Botch. That was the name of the band. The name of the band is Botch. The name of this song is very interesting. Okay, so this is probably the most off-kilter song on the record. Yeah, it was definitely. I don't know. I think I should be flattered that you sent such a difficult and challenging song. But yeah. So like sonically, it was it was kind of like a little bit experimental and proggy to me, actually. Like, and everybody knows I hate prog, rightfully so, because prog is the worst genre in all of music. So it had a little bit of, I'm not going to say prog, because I actually enjoyed the music I was listening to, so I don't want to do that. But I will say that it was somewhat experimental, say it that way. There are some parts of the song that were experimental, unconventional, whatever you want to say, right? And I'm not particularly certain as to what exactly we were gunning for, as far as like what we were trying to communicate in the song. But to me, the big thing that really got me lyrically was kind of right in the middle. Not maybe a little bit above, where he starts with, "There's no stopping it now, conquest is at hand, and the thirst for more and the need for more. Go on, never satisfied, never dormant, we go on. See us conquer all the humans that are left is our new home." So that right there, to me, conceptually, is what the song is about. They talk about it's time to build our colony. There's no stopping it now. You could go anywhere with this. Are these aliens? These are invaders, whatever. But for me, it's like it's very hard for me to watch the news. I don't know about you guys, but it's very hard for me to watch the news and then read these lyrics and not see some sort of, fulfillment of that in what we're looking at right now, with what's going on in the world, right? The first year that I had this channel, like, we never really got to what my initial point was, because we came on kind of like right at the midpoint or the end point of like the new atheism stuff, and so I would say, oh, Christianity leads to violence because you're talking about the Crusades. And then I would say, but touche, here is the League of the Militant Godless, and here they are talking about destroying Christians, destroying Muslims, destroying religion, and the entire concept of militant state atheism. And I would say, shall we blame atheism for what the communists did? And of course, the atheists got really sensitive about that, and so we were never able to really get to the actual meat of what I was saying, which was, we do not need religion or philosophy to tell us to kill other people and take their stuff. That's just human nature. What happens is that human beings have these things called consciences. And so humans need to construct reasons for why it's right for them to kill people and take their things that satisfies the voice of the conscience. And so that's where philosophies and religions that justify doing that come from. It doesn't come from the need to worship a god or the need to not have a god. It comes from the very basic, somewhat boring human impulse to go and take people's stuff. And so what we should expect to see is when religious people get into power, we should expect them to use their religion to justify taking more things from people so they can remain in power. And when irreligionists come to power, they're going to come up with some sort of philosophy that justifies why they're killing people and taking their property. So my point is that very human impulse to take people's things, to expand, because there's some sort of chasm inside of us that wants more and more and more. And there is some sort of internal narrative that is saying, hey, you've got some misery here. If you only had extra this, you would then be happy. Unfortunately, this person is standing in between you and happiness, so something's going to have to happen to that person, right? And so it's like, if we don't individually and collectively come up with some way of watering the tree inside without requiring the blood of strangers, then we've figured it out, right? That would figure out how we go from the current state we're in, which is perpetual war, to a state of some sort of peace. And like the title of the song is massively interesting, the transition from persona. Well, I'm pretty sure it's persona to object, isn't it? Isn't it transition from persona to object? I see. He's trying to make a joke. Transition from persona to non grata, as in persona non grata. But I mean, think about the concept of transitioning from a person to an object, right? That's what's happening in the current world we're in, where your understanding of personhood and being an ultimate human value gets completely subsumed into you are now a unit for 4 or 5 techno giants to become wealthy. Hey, what's up, Applejack? Good to see you, baby. But this is a very, very important point. Your personhood, your being, your value as a human being, in the technocracy we're currently in, it is now, you've been reduced to a unit of value and unit of attention. So like this is a clear example. Like the first thing that happens when YouTubers meet each other, the first thing that gets discussed is how many subs do you have, right? So like every subscriber is a human being that at some level said, I want to hear more from this person, or I want to hear more from these persons. When these persons have thoughts or ideas or creations, I want to be informed. I want to know. That's massive. It is massive that one human being. I remember when it first started happening, our phones started getting notifications. We started getting notifications, and it initially shut down the iPhone that I had, right? Like, we didn't know what was going on. But I just remember, like, being blown away, and, like, every 2 seconds, I would be like, oh, my God! And it's like, oh, my God! It's like, and now you've got, you've got hundreds of thousands. So you miss the magic and the wonder of another human being, because now it's just, they're one of X amount of people. And if you have X amount of subscribers, that means you're gonna make X amount of dollars, because X amount of people paying attention gets commercials and blah 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 blah. Right? Like, and so like the person, the human being, goes from persona, for a person, to an object. And not even an object, because an object is something tangible in the world. They just become a concept, right? They become a concept that's there to get you to the point where you can achieve a certain amount of capital so that you can convert that capital into material. And so people are going for going from persona to object, and the root of it comes from the never satisfied nature of the human being. Our inability to be satisfied, our inability to be content, is what drives all of these personal and national and global wars that we all have with each other. It's a James 4. It's like, why is there all this struggle among you? You kill and covet because you don't get what you want. And then he goes, you do not have because you do not ask God. And when you ask God, you ask for wrong motives that you may spend on your pleasures. So, like, there's a diagnosis. It's not necessarily the theological or philosophical system. It is the human soul and our desire for more and our inability to be satisfied that drives all these personal animuses at the core, right? And so, like, that has to get dealt with. But we're in an environment where I don't think we are not yet. How do I say this? I don't think the human family has learned enough lessons or learned that one lesson yet. And as such, we're in the situation that we're in, right? So I thought the song was very, very important. I thought it was important because it doesn't matter where you slice it, guys. It doesn't matter where you draw the line. None of that stuff matters. All that matters is, from as far back as we could remember, human beings have enslaved one another, killed one another, and taken each other's stuff. And it doesn't matter where you are, it's always the same template. And so we've got to make sure that at the individual level, we find ways to keep ourselves satisfied so that A, we can be liberated from the rat race, and B, cumulatively, we can somehow change the zeitgeist to where we could say, you know what, this is okay. We don't need extra. We don't need extra. If you are a subscriber to this channel, I just want to pause. If you are a subscriber to this channel, I appreciate the heck out of you. Whether or not there's been one red cent that's been contributed to our community, I just want to let you guys know I appreciate you, and I'm still very, very appreciative of every single person that's ever subscribed to this channel. Nothing and nobody is gonna last forever, right? So the time that we have together is important, and we should never take it for granted. Right? Because these things end a lot quicker than we realize. All right. So that's song 1. I'm going to go ahead and say, all right. Lyrically, I loved the lyrics and the conversation that engendered. Sonically, like I said, it was a bit experimental. I ain't going to lie to you. It's not a song I'm going to listen to a bunch, all right? It's just not one of them songs. But, it is a song that I respect. I respect what they did musically. Not my cup of tea sonically. Loved what they did lyrically. I'm going to give this one a solid 8. Solid 8, dear listener. Solid 8. All right. That's song 1. That is song 1. We got more songs coming down the pike for you, beautiful people. You helped me find a path toward God, and I thank you for that. MEJX, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You know, the people that we all run into each other on the path, whether digital or otherwise, I think that that's the reason we run into each other. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people stumble on the path. Sometimes, like, you pull the map out and go, "Hey, what do you think? Where are we going?" Right? And sometimes people will show up to you and say, "I think that way is a good way." But at the end of the day, you got to make the decision where you're going to go, right? See what I'm saying? Alrighty then. 7.5. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Let's go to the next song. But before that, that's why we try our best to mitigate the inner bad nature of us humans through systems that we construct, checks and balances, rule of law, for instance. Yeah, no, I agree. And you know, the entire concept of checks and balances assumes original sin. We can't give too much power to one person or one body of people because absolute power corrupts absolutely, but power doesn't have the power to corrupt anything. What power does do is it lowers the ability for the resistance of the will. So now that you have power, your will can't be resisted, and then your true self comes out. What you do when you have power, especially power over people, illustrates what kind of person you really are. Very, very important. Very important. Ben and Dwayne joke about blocking each other, but I'm pretty sure both of those guys are admins. I don't know how it's going to work, but we continue. All right, guys, here we go. Song number 2. Song numero dos. Here we go. Here is what the alliance leader said about it. The winner from our catch-up poll from the Big Homie Misery Business selection is the track Despinaparos by the Spanish solo post-rock artist Mod the Moth. Hey, what's up, gang? Good to see you, CISO. Good to see you, baby. Here we go. Here's the next song. Guys. I already gave you guys the intro, and here we go. Song numero dos. Song numero dos is Desperadano or something like that. I'm sorry for not pronouncing it correctly. Please don't be angry at me. Mod the Moth, Despinanos. Video and timestamp. Okay, timestamp is, let's go with 33. Let's just go with 34 minutes straight, bro. 34 minutes straight. All right, guys, here we go. Mod the Moth, Desperados.
Trail of pelts and broken bones, and friendships with the drowning, swallows diving in a pool of sorrow, imperfect to the eyes of God.
Holy smokes. Uh, this song is probably going to be the song of the week. I love this song. Vocally, yeah, I agree. Like, definitely Soraya's going to love this song when she hears it. She's probably watching it now. Holy smokes, man. Okay, this one, vocally, remember I said the other one, I'm like, I understood what they were doing sonically, wasn't really rocking with it, but I love what they did lyrically. This one, I obviously love what they did sonically. They made the girl, the girl's voice the star of the show. And, sometimes people get too egalitarian in the mix. And when you have somebody that's just like mega super talented, sometimes you just got to give them the ball and tell everybody to get out the way. And I love what they did with the vocals, because she was definitely like the star of the show. And again, like I don't know if we must have covered this girl a couple times, but vocally speaking, it's just incredible. Like, this was absolutely incredible. A trail of pelts and broken bones and friendships with the drowning. Like like the way this girl describes destruction is just beautiful. And I kind of hate that stuff because I hate making like bad things sound romantic. I never liked that. But the way that she writes about destruction is just absolutely insanely beautiful. A trail of pelts and broken bones and friendships with the drowning. Swallows diving in a pool of sorrow, imperfect to the eyes of God. The lady in the house, gang, gang, gang. What's up, D? Good to see you. Very, very good to see you. Yeah, so it looks like she's describing broken relationships as some sort of like disastrous moment or something, a disaster of something that happened, right? So like she's talking about the friendships with the drowning. So like it looks like there's some destruction happening, and she's using, drowning or crashing into water as sort of the literary device to talk about, the destruction that she's experiencing in her life or whatever, right? So he says, a trail of pelts and broken bones and friendships with the drowning, swallows diving in a pool of sorrow, imperfect to the eyes of God. So there you have swallows, birds, whatever, diving into the pool of sorrow. We talked about drowning in that line. And then in the next verse, milk turns to earth in my breast, my shoulder blades are tectonic plates, swimming away from spine unbraced. There it is again. So it looks to me like certain relationships ended, friendships, possibly it's one of these relationships where you can't have any friends or whatever. I'm not sure. But so what he's saying is, through these walls turn sinew and skin, all cracked like dawn under the weight of their expectations, naked and open. So it looks like in this verse that she lost the friendships or whatever because the people close to her, she couldn't live up to their expectations. And when they saw her for what she actually was in her actual weaknesses, it didn't work, right? That was the end of the friendships, because she couldn't live up to the expectations. And when she was open and vulnerable, that was the end of it. Milk turns to earth in my breast. My shoulder blades are tectonic plates swimming away from spine unbraced. And then it says, a choir of angels, featherless, vengeful, descending like a wake. Descending in circles. So, angels are, you would expect them to help you. Angels are there. They're kind of like supposed to be your guardians. But here, they are featherless and vengeful. So then it's like, in what sense is that an angel? It's featherless and it's vengeful. How is it an angel? And I think that has to do with what we said earlier, which is, I think the song was cool and it almost felt like a church choir. It sounded almost surreal. I think that's what she was going for. I think what happened was she's got friends or people close to her that are religious. They find something out about her, or they see the real her, and instead of respecting her, instead of continuing to love her, when they saw the flaws, they all left. And the reason she talks about a choir of angels, featherless and vengeful, is because they don't look like angels at all. They don't act like angels, but they perceive themselves to be angels in contrast to her as they're judging her. To me, it looks like it is a very poetic way of saying, these people are judging me. These people believe that they're better than me, that they are angels and I am this horrible, terrible person. And so they're featherless and they're vengeful, meaning you wouldn't be able to look at them and go, oh, that's an angel, right? Like, and that's the thing with, judgmental people, right? Is that the mechanism of judgment requires a sort of self-delusion, right? It kind of requires some sort of self-delusion for me to believe that I'm better than you as a person. Like, okay, you have this particular thing that's wrong and bad that you do, that's habitual, whatever it is. I have stuff too, right? So if I'm focused on my stuff, then if I look at your stuff, I'll say, yeah, man, that's bad, but I got this thing over here, so maybe we could help each other. Maybe you don't struggle with this, but I struggle with this, so maybe we could help each other, right? That's sort of like the instinct that should happen. If you come from an idea that everybody is imperfect, right? That I biblically it's just original sin. If you come with that perspective, then if you have a friend who doesn't have a major character flaw, it's not because they don't have a major character flaw. It's that you don't know them well enough. Right? That's the assumption. And so if that's the case, and I'm talking to my friend and I discover, oh, that's their thing. If I look at it from the perspective of, well, I know what my thing is. My thing is this. Their thing is that. Maybe we can help each other. But what's definitely not going to be on the line is, I am no longer in relationship with you because I've just discovered this flaw about you. That can't be on the table. Right? That can't be on the table. If I am seeing myself correctly, I would have been able to see a lot of my flaws. And since I've lived with myself longer than I've lived with you, my perception of my own flaws should be that they're bigger than yours. Because I've lived with mine longer, and I know myself better, meaning we all have things that we don't say out loud to people. That's birthed from our flaws, but we know that if we say that out loud, people are going to know that flaw, so we keep it inside. But I know what I kept inside. So, technically speaking, I should be The flaws that you have should be smaller in my perceptive view than the flaws that you have, right? And I think that that's what Jesus meant when he said, why do you focus on the speck in your brother's eye when you have a log in your own? First remove the log and then you can help your brother with the speck. Why does Jesus say you have a log and your brother has a speck? What if my brother's sin is worse than mine? I think the reason that Jesus is saying you have a log and your brother has a speck is because Jesus is saying if you are doing self-accounting properly, your sin or your flaws or your setbacks or your imperfections should always be bigger to you than somebody outside, because you live with yourself, you know yourself. So, perceptually speaking, you should always have the harshest judgment for yourself, right? And because phenomenologically speaking, you've only been with you for as long as you've been with you. So Jesus is assuming that you're looking at yourself the entire time. Because if you are, your flaws are always going to be bigger to you than the other person. One of the ways to know that if you're not looking at this correctly is that the flaws of other people are ginormous and yours are small. Now, if you look at Donald Trump and say, if I was with his upbringing, with his, whatever, okay, whatever is going on with the homie, right? If you look at that and say, I would have done a lot better than Trump if I was placed in his exact circumstances, you don't understand the doctrine. Right? The doctrine is, if I was in Trump's position with the same upbringing, with the same socio-psychological situations, yada, 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 and God left me to myself, I would not have done much better. I would do worse. I genuinely believe that. And if you don't genuinely believe that, then you don't get the doctrine. This right here is a brilliant song. I love the lyrics. I love the lesson. It looks like there's people judging, religious people judging. And I think that we need to be very, very, very hesitant to say things about other people if we're not also willing to hear those things about ourselves. That's one of the blessings about this channel. If I say something, if I talk about like a moral issue, somebody's eventually going to come around and say, well, screw you, you're a hypocrite, you do this, 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 and that. Right? That's a blessing. That's a blessing because it always keeps you on track, because everybody forgets this stuff. Right? Everybody forgets this stuff. I wouldn't want to be in Trump's position, to be honest. Yeah, and that's the doctrine. I just wouldn't want to be in your position, bruh. I wouldn't want to be in that position. Later, Blasphemy Heresy, good to see you. Good to see you. Come back soon. We got more stuff on the way. All right, I got to give this one a 9.7. This is a song of the week to me. I find it very hard to believe that there's going to be another song that's better than this one. But we shall see. We shall see! Alright, guys. Song numero tres. If you are here for a band named Machine Head, continue to watch. The Machine Head is coming. Believe you me. Machine Head is on the way. But before Machine Head, we have a wonderful band. And I don't know the name of the band, but we shall see. We've got a nice little intro. This intro is a little bit more involved than the other intros are, dear listener. So we'll check that out. The doctrine meaning deal with the devil? No, the doctrine being the doctrine of original sin. That all of us are born in sin, and that if God left us to ourselves, there's no amount of horror that we would not do. So, good question. All right. Now, song number 3. Dear listener. As I said, you want to get up on the on the Patreon bandwagon. It starts out at $1. that there's a lot of other benefits that come with the Patreon sign up. So think about that. Think about that, dear listener. Think about that. It's very, very important. All right. Let's check out song number 3. Song number 3 for our purposes is a very, very, very interesting song. And we will look at what they say about it here. Our alliance. This is what I was talking about, guys. You join an alliance on Patreon. You get to do it. Our alliance ended up selecting 2 songs to showcase to you for our playlist, which focused on death metal songs. The first song is from a band that you have yet to listen to. They are The Chasm, who originally hailed from Mexico City, Mexico, but now operate out of Chicago. Hey, Chicago! The Omnipotent Codex is off their 2004 album, The Spell of Retribution. Misery Biz was the member who offered this song. Shout out to Misery Biz. I'm pretty sure that Misery Biz is an OG leader in his alliance. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I'm up on my Vin and Story lore, but I'm pretty sure that I'm right in saying that Misery Biz is one of the OGs from the way back. All right, enough of that. Let's go with song number 3. This is from the band The Chasm. The Omnipotent Codex is the name of this song. The Omnipotent Codex, pronounced like Kasim. Let's go with 60-minute mark timestamp. Let's do it. Pronounced like chasm. Here we go. Actually, no, because that's the version that makes it so that you guys can't hear it. Let's try it this way. Timestamp is 1 hour. Just do a 60-minute mark then.
For this curse, God make it on heraldic colossus, my arrow in the fire, burning the ready turn. Myth of imperfection. Accessibility grows so neat. Trance radiate. Where the battle now. This the militant.
Oh my goodness gracious, gracious, gracious. That was terrible. That was terrible. Oh my goodness gracious. What a waste of a sonic landscape on vocal nothingness. Well, I don't have a problem with the vocals, but I had a real problem with the lyrics because the song was so freaking hard, bro. This was hard, heavy metal. Yeah, a little bit of look what I can do riff-wise, but it was heavy, so I didn't care. I didn't care. It was heavy, so I didn't care. But beloved, 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 what the hell were you talking about, bruh? Listen, if I have, you have one of the best beats. You got some of the best guitar work we've heard in a long time for heaviness, because it's hard to make heavy music, okay? Because you eventually kind of like devolves into chugga, chugga, chugga. But they were using some of the speed and the other techniques to make the thing heavy. It was variegated. It was beautiful. And when you have such a beautiful table and the setting is perfect and the seats are symmetrically aligned, dear listener, it's right there. You gotta come with something hard, bro. Something that get your emotions going with the lyrics. Like, can you imagine if you pop in a song, let's say from the 80s, right? And you're up there going, and you're sitting there chilling, and they go, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, this is about to be it. And then the guy goes, I am a liger, and my feeling is wrong, right? When you're coming up to the crossing of the street, it's like, oh man, it's like you're, you know, in the middle of something and then you don't get to complete it type of thing. Like, that's the problem with this song, bro. The song was too hard for these sci-fi lyrics, man. It's horrible. Eye of the Liger, bro. Eye of the Liger. You just completely ruins the song. Like, okay, Liger. Like, I get it. It's a lion and a tiger. But it's just, you know, it's corny. It's corny. Okay, here's the thing about this thing that I like, though, lyrically. This was pretty brave. This was pretty brave, right? Like, this is one of the most engaging sagas. It's a recollection of perseverance and omen. So, like, this was pretty meta because it was explaining to you, yo, I'm about to tell you a story. It's very rarely do people do that lyrically. So, you got to give them the nod. You got to give them the nod. Because I can't... Okay, so for example, Dune is sci-fi, right? Now, I don't want to say Dune because somebody's going to spoil it for me, right? Like, The Matrix is sci-fi, right? And, you know, let's say I was doing a rock album about The Matrix, right? I couldn't get mad per se about the details of the story, like, because I've never been in a situation where I've woken up and I've been connected to all these machines and things like that. But I can relate to Neo loving his girl, obviously. That's my whole life is about that. I can relate to that. I can relate to feeling oppressed by a government and wanting to break out of it. So if I was doing a rock album about the Matrix, I could talk about that specific human issue and write some really heavy music to it. But like the issue of the agents themselves and the machinations they use to get there, hell no, it's not going to make me as emotionally like resonant when I'm listening to it. No. The Dying One, the filth of the purifiers, the plan of this curse, the avenging Dawnbringer, heraldic colossus, my iron will on fire, burning the already charred midst of imperfection, as the summoning grows in defeat, it radiates ectoplasm from the wraiths. This is the omnipotent codex. I mean, come on, man. Like, haven't we all had to deal with the radiating ectoplasm? Like, what are we talking about here, man? I'm sorry, but like, the ground was too fertile for you to put in some, you know, experimental whatever in the thing. Like, this was the metal was way too heavy for it to be ruined by the heraldic colossus, my iron will on fire. That's basically Fear Factory's Obsolete album. Correct. And Fear Factory did a very, very, very good job with, you know, going with the emotions of it, like Securitron and things like that. You know? Where's your sense of whimsy? Hey, guys, I haven't, you know, we haven't been able to shoot in a while, right? So it's just, it's all coming out. You know what I'm saying? I got too much energy. I got too much energy is the problem. I hated this song because I loved it so much. I don't know who it was. They're like, yo, why would you destroy such good music with terrible, terrible vocals? And I didn't agree with the vocals thing. I thought the vocals were fine. I just couldn't connect emotionally the way I wanted to. The song was so heavy. You know, if the song wasn't as heavy, like if the metal was like, I don't know, like 20% less heavy, then this song would have actually gotten a seriously higher score. But because the metal was so good, I needed some just emotional language, and you didn't give it to me with the colossal sci-fi stuff, man. It was too sci-fi for me, bro. I'm gonna have to give you a 7.7, y'all. I'm gonna have to give this one a 7.7. Nothing can be done. Gotta give it a 7.7. Gotta give it a 7.7. Alright, guys. We have another song for you, and maybe we'll have a bonus song. You know, like how sometimes, like, the band will go out, and then it's like, oh, man, the band left, and then everybody's, like, kind of, like, sitting there and being like, whoa, man, this is terrible. Then all of a sudden everything goes dark, and wouldn't you know it, the band does not leave. The band is actually there. And they come out and do other songs. That's called it's called something. And where, that's called the encore. There may be an encore today. I don't know. There may be not. Oh! Look at this! The big homie Dan is here. Good to see you, baby. Good to see you, big homie Dan. All right, here we go. What's a preview for song 4? Let's see here. This is the second of our 2 winners of our death metal focused playlist. Tomb Mold are a band you've heard once before with their track Will of Whispers from their most recent album in 2023, Abyss Walker. On the other hand, comes from their 2018 album Manner of Infinite Forms. If you happen to recall what Will of Whispers sounded like, you'll notice some difference in production and songwriting between it and Abyss Walker. While Will featured clean and ethereal guitars and some progressive flourishes, Abyss Walker owes its style to old school death metal, a style that pays homage to death metal from the 1980s and the early 1990s. Warning Shot was a member who offered up this song. Shout out to the big homie Warning Shot. Thank you for your participation. By the way, shout out to all the Alliance members and how patiently they wait for stuff. Shout out to y'all. Should be fun. All right, guys, here we go. Song number 4. Song number 4 brought to you by our alliances. Much love to our alliances. Thank you guys for everything that y'all do. Okay, guys, here we go. Abyss Walker from Manner of Infinite Forms 2018 record. Let's do it. Timestamp, Ben, is 1:16:45. Yes! Ha-ha! Yes, Mickey! This was the knuckle dragging metal we all know and love, dear listener, that Vinny knows and loves as well. Okay, I really, really like this one. I really like this one a lot. I like this one a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. The real horror is what's been between living and dying. That right there. That right there. Yeah, I understand it's a little bit too Cannibal Corpse-y. I understand that. But when you have the lyrics, it kind of helps you with it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I still say, like, rhythmically you can catch it even if you don't like the vocal style. But I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Okay. Now, check this out. The real horror is what's between living and dying. That's a hard line, man. That's a hard line. I don't know, over the last 10 years or so, I've been spoiled by dynamic vocalists. It's hard for me not to pick apart old school death metal. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. But I think that those dynamic singers that are part of, like, current death metal now, I think you gotta, always it's gonna be the people that started the genre are going to be the reason why people did that. I mean, that's what I've learned from the black metal, right? The initial mayhem or whatever was, trash, but you compare that to like a Dimmu Borgir or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it just develops. I don't know. But I liked it because I'm a caveman and, I like the simplistic heavy stuff. That's just me. It's just me, gang. Okay. But I got to go back to that line, but let me finish the rest. The unlocked memories of past lives can now be seen. You flutter, once outside, now inside. Traversing the hidden planet, traversing the abyss, beholding the shambling abominations. Broken the plaintive wailings, the spread of corruption is endless. Look inside them. Observe and absorb their memories, the creation and the poisoning that followed, etched into your mind. A guide through the expanse, devour their remains, steal their remaining strength, and leave no trace. My God, yeah, man, that's pretty tough. It's kind of like, it's a weird thing. Like if you were giving a guided tour to God of like the universe, like so in deism, right? Like God kind of like creates the world and then he goes off and does something else. And so you kind of get, like, in deism, you get the explanation for why we're in the Goldilocks zones and all the order that seems to be in creation. But then you get it also, to them, it gives you explanatory power for human evil and things like that. Why do bad things, if there's a God who created everything, then why do bad things happen? Their response is, well, he's out doing other stuff. I mean, he just created this planet and made us, and then he went off and he's doing other stuff. He's like an uninvolved, sort of like deadbeat dad almost type of thing, right? So, if you look at these lyrics and pretend that we found bro, right? Like, let's say we found the deist God, and we were trying to give him like a guided tour, like this is what your creation has done. Like, imagine that as I read these lyrics again, right? The real horror is what's between living and dying. Open your eyes. The unlocked memories of past life can now be seen. You flutter, once outside, now inside, traversing the hidden planet, traversing the abyss. Behold, the shambling abominations broken. The plaintive wailings. The spread of corruption is endless. Look inside them. Observe and absorb their memories. The creation and the poisoning that followed etched into your mind. A guide through the expanse, I am. Devour their remains, steal their remaining strength, and leave no trace. So right there, you could see that what we're looking at is this guided tour. These are all the horrible things we've done, and there we go. Right? Like, these are the terrible, horrible things human beings have done. Thank you. This is your creation. Welcome. If I was that God, I would be like, damn. Right? Like, I would be like, okay, we got to do something here. We got to do a redo. Because these people are horrible. Look at them. What have I done? Or would the deist God just go, man, that's interesting. Thanks for the tour. I'm gone off to make another galaxy or something. It's a really interesting question. Like, if God was a disinterested sort of creator, and if you could kind of get his attention and say, "Hey, look at all this," how would he look at it? How would he interpret it? You know, yeah, I think that's something that people would have to think about it. You know what I'm saying? So, if I was that God, and there's been 10,000 years of human history? Like real human history, like when we could actually do stuff. If you were that God, would you delete everything? You know what I'm saying? Devour their remains, steal everything and leave no trace of them? Or would you try to fix it? Because if you're a God, or if you're like the God, then there'd be a sense in which our universe and everything that we see would ultimately have to be a product of just his mentation, right? If you say that because if you say that God started out as a non-physical being, right? He's outside of time and space and material. That means that everything that we are is just his imagination. It's just his mentation. You know, even if, like Shakespeare and the world that he inhabits, in Hamlet or Romeo and Juliet, those are true worlds in those stories, but they only truly existed in the mind of Shakespeare, right? So the world as it is a real world to us because we're characters in the story, but in reality, it's just a story in the mind of the original storyteller. So, like, what do you do in that situation? Because you wrote the story, or you wrote a template, and these characters are endowed with will and emotion, and so they're able to kind of direct where the story goes. But when you look at it, it's just a panoply of suffering. What do you do? Well, I'll delete the story, or I'll go back and rewrite the story so that these things never went bad, right? So like those are the things that, like, I think about sometimes when I see things like that. Like, I try to get out of a Christian worldview for a second and think to yourself, like, what would you do? This was a deep song, man. It's a deep song. It's something that, like, I think about a lot. And then you have to, obviously as a Christian, what we say is that God looked at humanity and said, "No, you guys are worth it." And that kind of makes sense because we're in the image of God. And so, like, God's not gonna. It's interesting. It's kind of like God respects us too much to completely just, like, wipe the slate clean of our choices. So, like, he respects us for those choices, and so that's what we called history. It's like, hey, I'm not going to delete what you guys did. Like, you did it. And those would include good choices as well. And then he kind of, like, enters the story and takes on the corruption, takes on the plaintive wailing. So the scripture says that he was a man of sorrow and acquainted with grief. So he takes on the wailings, he takes on the corruption, he sees all of it. He says, I see all of it. I'm going to live here and show you guys how human beings are actually supposed to live. And then, obviously, when you are a good person in the midst of bad people, which is all of us, as we've been talking about all night, we all came and killed him. So I just think it's these are just very interesting ideas to, like, throw around and think about. But the song made me think a lot. It sounds like, oh, it's caveman music. It's just heavy metal. People being ignorant, whatever. But in reality, it's actually not. It's actually, these guys are actually, like, if you actually take the time with these guys, like, These dudes are saying something, and these dudes are like mega, mega, mega well read, and they're very. It's not just that they're well read; it's that they take what they've read, and they put their own spin on it, and they express it in the music. I mean, I was pretty hard on the group before. But even from that perspective, you got to give respect to the group before, because the group before, same thing. I think the best example of this is Nurgle from Behemoth, as far as a dude who's like mega well read, who's really saying something. These bands are really saying something, even though it's hard and it's heavy and all the rest of it. They're really, really saying something. All right, I'm gonna give that one an 8.4. 8.4, dear listener. 8.4. Well. I told you we were going to do 4 songs, dear listener. And I gave you that. I gave you guys 4 songs. But, I have been hinting at a possible 5th song. I have been hinting at a possible 5th song. I want to direct you, beautiful people, to the screen. What you're seeing there is the big homie. The big homie that you're seeing there is Trevor. The other big homie that you're seeing there is Tim. Trevor passed away in 2009. Trevor died on 19 January, 2 days after Tim's birthday. I last saw him on my birthday, and he got me me and Dave. Dave is another brother we'll talk about in a second. He got me and Dave Machine Head tickets. So there is Trevor and the big homie Tim. Here's another picture. This is Trevor and the big homie. Sorry, this is Tim and the big homie Dave. I don't know if I've got the pictures in there. It's kind of half and half. This is Dave. Dave is Tim's brother, who also died in 2016. So we got a brother that died in 2009 and then another brother that died in 2016. And that is just terrible. I've got a little brother. I have a younger brother. And I wasn't the brother I should have been. He's not here anymore because of that. So I saw a message in my thingamajig, and just a random message, and it was a big homie Tim. So this is a song that we're going to dedicate to our 3 brothers, because we're all family here. And this is for our 3 brothers. And, somehow, some way, we're going to see them all again, God willing. All right. So enough of that. This is for Trevor, Jamie, and Dave. For our brothers. Here we go. This is Machine Head. What's the name of this song? Wipe Your Tears or something like that? Hold on, guys. I don't even know the name of this song. I'm out here, trying to keep it together, y'all. I'm doing a good job, by the way. I'm doing a really, really good job. Talk amongst just. Let me see if I can find this song here. I can't even find this joint. Machine Head, Your Tears. You there? Something like that. You know, I had the whole thing. I had the whole thing. Wipe the tears. All right, here we go. All right, guys, here we go. Wipe the tears, Machine Head. For my brothers, let's do it. Timestamp is 1:36:20.
Ask me how it feels to feel like you're a failure.
Did you guys hear that? I just want to make sure you guys heard that because I want to make sure that the thing is correct. So I wanted to make sure that you guys heard that properly. It's very important to me that we learned the song properly, that we heard the song properly. So once I confirm that we heard it, then we'll really, really be good to go. I just want to make sure this is perfect, guys. So sorry for the choppy intro, but did you guys hear that or not when I played it? Okay, everybody heard it? Okay, perfect. All right, guys. So it's going to be Wipe the Tears from a band called Machine Head. I believe you guys have heard of that band before. One of my favorite bands. And actually, one of Sori's favorite bands, too, actually. There's never been a Machine Head song she didn't love. All right, guys, here we go. Machine Head, Wipe the Tears.
Ask me how it feels to feel like you're a failure when everything that's real burns with flaming anger. I've heard it all before. I felt some pain and more. More than it probably seems. I've sat with it in hand, stressed by my demands, stomach tied in knots. Alone I sit and rot, 'cause the pain from all these fears has built up all these years. Wipe away the tears. Wipe away the tears. Living so beautiful. Giving so beautiful. Walk the streets dejected, alone and left rejected. Time does not care, and sometimes life ain't fair. My head begins to pound, smashing bottles on the ground. I have lived amongst the garbage with those who rape incarnate. Had many a promise broken, and broken some myself. The promise I've kept alive is keep my inner wealth. With my heart aimed at the world, destiny I watch it fall as I wipe away the tears. Wipe away the tears.
didn't know how I didn't know how this song was gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause Machine Head can get really really melodic. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I was like trying to. I was loading up. I was like, all right, bro, don't cry. You know, like keep yourself together, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, I don't know. But I love this song, man, especially considering because it's like when my brother showed up, my older brother showed up because how do I say this, man? I temporarily lost my mind. I'll say it that way when my brother died. You know, I was like I was just in this crazy like mindset, state of mind. I was confused. Like there was a part of me that's like, this is my little brother. Like, how is this even possible that my little brother is dying before me? Like, it doesn't make sense. And I was like, the only thing I just remember thinking like, somebody like sold my brother some fentanyl. And I'm like, all right, it's Maine. So that's not going to be hard to. I'm going to find that person. I'm going to find that person. So I was making phone calls, blah, blah, blah. Shorty's looking at me like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? She's seeing phone numbers she's not familiar with. Like, yo, who's this person? Blah, blah, blah. My brother, my older brother, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna fly down to come get you, come check on you. But he didn't. Now I find out he didn't fly at all. He drove straight from. So I got on the phone with him, and he just drove straight from Texas to come see me because I was crazy. Turns out my brother died of alcohol poisoning. So there was nobody to get. So I just had to like sit in that and like sit in that failure of like failing to be there for my brother. Like I can't get into like the details of it. You know, people anytime somebody blames themselves for something like this, people always like, oh man, you didn't, you know what? Nah, I know for a fact that if I'd have done things differently, like he'd still be here. It's crazy too, cause my girl is like, yo man, I don't know, bro. Like you gotta talk to him, you know, like what if something happens to him? But I was on my bullshit. But anyway, I was just sitting in all this pain because I'm like, yo, there's nobody to do nothing to. It's the first time I lost somebody like that. You know, like a peer that I wasn't able to do something. I'm like sitting with all this pain, like it's unbelievable. Like, yo, I can't believe this, bro. It's my little brother, bro. Like, what the almost killed me, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. It almost killed me. But one thing my brother said to me before he left, he's like, yo, he said, you can't be so sorrowful about the dead that you forget to care for the living. You got living people in front of you that are depending on you, bro. So, I don't know how you do it, but you're going to have to figure it out. And suck it up and live, nigga. It's my big brother, man. You know, like, you know, he says shit like that, you know. So anyway, thank you, Tim, for loving your brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you were a better brother than I was. But thank you for bringing up this song, bro. It's important. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people you have around you are gifts, man. And I'm not even, like, the lesson is not like, oh, like, love the people around you. They could die in a car accident tomorrow. It's not even that, man. It's more about, like, I didn't know how much I loved my little brother until he was gone. Like, I didn't know how much I loved bro. Like, like when you say, like, yo, I would have traded my life for yours, like, people say that, you know what I mean? Like, I'd have done it 10 times out of 10, my little brother. You know? Like, that's somebody I was supposed to protect. Even if he was 4 or 5 inches taller than me. You know? So, yeah, man, like, gotta be strong for their kids. Yeah, you know, he's an uncle. You know what I'm saying? Tim's an uncle. And, you know, that's the way it is. You know what I'm saying? If it's 3 brothers, one of us gotta be here. You know what I'm saying? So, when I saw that comment, I was like, damn, bro. You know what I mean? When I saw that comment, I was like, okay, like, you guys know me, like, you guys know the stories, man. Like, I've been telling you death stories for years, y'all. But, yeah, man, my little brother, bro, like, yeah, man. But anyway, much love to all you beautiful people. Thank you guys for coming through. Thank you for sharing that, bro. You know what I'm saying? That believe me, I know. Like, that's no joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, for you to share that. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing the pictures. Thank you for sharing with us in the village. You know, in our community, like, we multiply joy and divide pain, right? So, like, controller, you know, he set it up to where him and a couple guys in the village, they're all going to a party together or a show together, you know. So they're like multiplying joy with each other. And then Tim and I, like, we just took the time and we're dividing sorrow with each other, you know what I'm saying? And that's how it goes. We multiply joy and we divide sorrow. So thank you to Tim. Big shout out to Tim for providing this moment. And Machine Head, shout out to Machine Head. Thursday, is another day full of music. We also have movies and stuff coming down the pike. So we got a lot of things coming down the way, guys. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Season 3 in this bitch. Lost a cousin to drugs. He was living out on his own, the stage bouncing place to place. Didn't have good people around him. Been to jail. Came back to the tinfoil one night, and he was gone. Yeah, man. That's the thing too about like these drugs, man. It's like you really. It's a ruthless taskmaster, bro. Like it'll kill you. And like not warn you, not tell you it's gonna come and kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like Sean's, clown from Slipknot. His daughter, she was a big fentanyl addict, and she got out of it. She went to rehab. She got out of it. She got off of it, and then she relapsed, fell back into it, and that was it for her. So, if you get involved in that stuff, man, just realize, like, I ain't here to preach to you, man, but just realize that it doesn't give warning, man, and it plays for keeps, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and same thing with alcohol. My brother was a 6'3" Marine. You know what I mean? Like, bro he's a big dude. And I had to see that. Like, I was like, yo, show that to me. I thought they were just, telling me whatever because Sorry put together like, yo, like, but it doesn't matter. It won't warn you. It'll take people from you, and it'll take you from people you love. Like, and look, you don't have to drink yourself to death like the way my brother did. But you can drink yourself to death the way Mike Knoyer did by killing himself and 5 other people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other people on Christmas Eve because he got behind the wheel of a car drunk as hell. Like, I ain't trying to disrespect nobody's memory, man. Like, obviously, you guys know I love my brother, and I've cried many nights over Mike Knoyer and all those people, but bro did it to himself. Right? My brother did it to himself. I hate saying that shit. But we gotta take some accountability, gentlemen. What's up, Kai? Good to see you, baby. Good to see you. Watch King Ivory, see what fentanyl does to people. Yeah, man, fentanyl it's a brutal killer, man. Like, it really, really is. I wanna like put a So this right here, guys, should probably just keep this as a permanent timestamp. But this is available. It's a suicide and crisis hotline. And look, if you're on fentanyl or whatever and you can't get out, like, you can call that number and they will get you. They will hook you up to. They will hook you up to certain places, man, where you'll be okay. And like there's a lot of places out there that can help you. All right? So I'm probably gonna if you guys know anybody that specializes in this kind of help, let me know. Because I want to make sure that we have that kind of as a permanent thing, because a lot of us in our community have lost people that way. But Tim, thank you so much, man, for doing that for us and giving us space to talk for this stuff. I really, really appreciate it. I really, really do appreciate it, man. Thank you very, very much. And I hope this made you feel good somehow. You made everybody else feel good. We really appreciate it. I'm out of here, guys. Much love to all you beautiful people. We'll be back on Thursday at the latest. Much love, guys.